Last summer, a world champion laid down on the pitch because the heat made him dizzy. Enzo Fernandez, flat on his back, telling the cameras this temperature was genuinely dangerous. He said it inside MetLife Stadium, the exact ground hosting this year's final. This World Cup might be the hardest ever played. Not because of the teams, because of where and when they play. Heat, altitude, and travel could decide who lifts the trophy. By the end of this, you will see why the schedule might beat the football. For the first time, the tournament is spread across a whole continent. 3 countries and 16 cities from Vancouver down to Mexico City. On paper, that is a celebration. In the afternoon sun, it is something else. Start with the stadiums. 16 venues, and only 3 have real air conditioning. 3 of them stay cool. Dallas and Houston for a start. 13 others have no cold air at all. Miami, Kansas City, every Mexican ground. Open to whatever the sky brings. 9 host cities are rated extreme risk for heat illness. Not uncomfortable, dangerous. Most of the biggest games kick off in the afternoon. Why the afternoon in that heat? Because afternoon in America is prime time on European television. Those kickoff times are built around TV money, not the thermometer. One climate group studied all 104 matches. Around half carry a real risk of heat strong enough to wreck performance. We already saw it in week 1. England beat Croatia in Arlington with a heat index near 105 outside. They only got away with it because the roof was shut. Close the roof, you are fine. Open it. You are in trouble. And FIFA cannot say nobody warned them. They ran a full dress rehearsal last summer. Same country, same stadiums, last year's Club World Cup. It was a mess. Enzo Fernandez nearly fainted and had to lie on the grass. Atletico's Marcos Llorente said his toes were sore and his nails were hurting. He could not start. Could not stop. Borussia Dortmund's substitutes sat out the first half in the locker room, inside where the air conditioning was. Their coach said he sweated like he had stepped out of a sauna. Their own players' union called the whole thing a wake-up call. They said 2 of those matches should have been postponed. Postponed. At a FIFA event. Over the weather. Luis Enrique put it plainly. You cannot play 90 minutes at a high level in that. So FIFA brought in a fix. This is the first World Cup with a drinks break built into every match. 3 minutes, twice a game. In every one of the 104. Before, you only got 1 when the heat was genuinely savage. Now, it is automatic. Sounds caring. Experts are not buying it. They say 3 minutes comes nowhere near cooling a body down. The union wanted the worst games delayed, not just paused. Fans? They booed the breaks during England versus Croatia. Van Dijk called them pointless inside an air-conditioned roof. It does not help that FIFA runs adverts during the pause. A water break that doubles as a commercial break. Then comes the opposite problem. Thin air. Mexico City sits about 7,000 feet up. Azteca is the highest ground at this World Cup by a distance. Up there, every breath carries less oxygen. Your lungs burn, and your legs never quite recover between sprints. South Korea took it so seriously, they trained at altitude in Utah first, just to practice breathing. Mexico's own officials call that thin air a massive advantage. Of course they do. They live up there. Visiting teams get 2 weeks at best to adjust, and once you are done baking or gasping, you fly. A lot. The 2 farthest grounds, Miami and Vancouver, sit 2,800 miles apart. That is 4 time zones inside one tournament. Bosnia's group alone drags them clear across the continent. Go deep into the knockouts and a team can rack up something like 8,000 miles. Now hold that against Qatar. 4 years ago, every stadium sat within 22 miles of one hotel. Teams practically took a taxi to the final. One hop here, Miami to Vancouver, beats that whole tournament span more than 100 times over. So, stack it all up. Brutal heat in the south, thin air in Mexico City, a whole continent to cross in between. No World Cup has ever thrown all 3 at players at once. My honest take, then, the brutal part of 2026 is not the opponents. It is the calendar and the thermometer. FIFA watched this happen last summer and barely touched the kickoff times. A 3-minute water break is not a plan. It is an apology with a sponsor. The danger is simple. A brilliant team could go home not because anyone outplayed them, but because they cooked at noon in Kansas City. This trophy might go to whoever survives the schedule, not whoever plays the best football. So I will hand it over to you. Should FIFA have pulled these games out of the afternoon sun? Or postponed the worst ones, like the players begged them to? And the big one, will the heat decide this World Cup more than talent does? Tell me in the comments. I read every single one. And subscribe if you want the honest version, not the highlight reel.